Good evening, good evening, good evening. Come into the Jaye Spot, replacing your G spot every the Jaye Spot, on IntellectualRadio.com.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to the best night of your life. Woo! You have entered the Jaye Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families one conversation at a time on IntellectualRadio.com and iHeartStation. I'm your host, Jay, and sitting next to me, we have pretty, sassy, Precious Bonner. Hey, Precious.
Hey, Jay.
How are you?
I am good. How are you?
Good. How was your holiday?
Long.
Oh,
Work.
work.
Yes.
Now, wait a minute. So, can you tell everybody what was going on? Because, we saw the sexy thighs. I said, this red bone right here is just too hot to try.
No, so actually, I went to the Good Vibes concert for Intellectual Radio, of course, in the Jaye Spot. And, every now and again, don't get it twisted. People don't see me dressed up often enough and they forget I know how to dress. I just don't do it because I'm fly all the time.
Right, but no, you slaughtered them though. Like there was the difference between dressing up and slaughtering somebody, and that was definitely a slaughter. So I definitely want to say, wow,
I have good stylists.
Did you think that you were going to get out the house and just not get harassed or have any type of ramifications for that dress?
I'm gonna make you laugh. I didn't pick the dress. I'm going to tell you, I went to my friend's house and she was like, hey, here's the dress I got for you. I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to throw it on. Like, literally, that was, yeah.
Well, shout out to the friend that dressed Sister Precious Sexy Bonner over here, because you definitely had them. She hooked it up. She hooked it up. She hooked it up. Well, you all, thank you so much for tuning in. Please go to our Facebook page and like our page at the Jaye Spot. Also follow us on Twitter at Jaye Spot, and also follow us on Instagram at the Jaye Spot Radio. And Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. Now, last week, Precious, we talked about dating and introducing them darn kids to whoever you're dating.
Right.
What were your thoughts on that? Like, how do you feel about dating and introducing the kids?
Don't do it.
Why not?
Because then so for me, I don't believe in introducing people to my little people. Because I don't want that. I don't want them getting accustomed to people. And if they're not going to be there, I'd rather you just not exist. So my children aren't going to learn other people's names. They don't even learn friends' names. So, a man ain't got a chance.
And so some people say that you should introduce the kids to the person that you're talking to or the person that you're dating. They say to introduce them to the person immediately so that they can kind of weed out, if this person would be good for you or not. What are your thoughts on that? People introducing the kids like right off.
I think that when you start introducing your kids to too many people, you're setting a bad example as a parent. It's that simple. You don't need your daughter or your son, whether you're male or female, saying, with Jack, Jane, Jill, Bobby, whoever it is. You don't need them learning that many people, because then to them it becomes okay for them to do that. You know what I mean? You don't want to set that example for them. So no.
And then I always had a problem with people having the kids refer to the men as Uncle Lil Jim, Uncle Tyrone, Uncle Bobby Smith. There's a problem with that, because what if they wake up and they go to the bathroom like these little nosy little people tend to do in the middle of the night, and they see you and Uncle Duchuck doing something that child ain't got no business doing?
Why are you and Uncle Bobby coming out the bathroom?
Right. Mommy, what was that was hanging from Uncle Bobby? You see, now you got to messed up.
Even worse. So what is Uncle if y'all make it and y'all get married? Is he Uncle Daddy now? Like, really?
Right,
Come on now.
Right. I just don't think that some people take the time to think that through. They think that, okay, you can just cover it up with uncle, and it'll be okay. It'll be acceptable for this guy to be around. However, what happens when you see the real uncle? You're not interacting. These little people, hey, listen, you all, these little people are very, very smart. Some of them, I'm quite sure, I'm willing to bet, have been here before.
Oh, yeah.
Some of them have been here before. So you can't really pull the wool over these little people's eyes. So if you are dating and you want to introduce your kids, I would suggest just waiting until you find like that person that that, okay, we're going to take this ride all the way down to the altar. It's like, if you're talking that type of serious, then I would introduce them.
Yeah, just wait until they matter. It's that simple. Wait until they matter. Because until they matter, then it's just a person, right? Once you matter, it's like, okay, you know what? I can see us going somewhere. We'll entertain this. Then you introduce the kids. Other than that, leave it be.
Because what happens when you break up with the person? The kids, they have to break up with them as well. So it's like some of these kids get attached to the men and the women, and they have a hard time getting over that breakup. And a lot of times we as adults just focus on how we feel about the breakup, not even thinking twice that these little people are being affected by this breakup as well.
Exactly. And I'm a total radio silence, block you, delete your number. You don't even exist to me no more. So that's messed up to put your kids through,
right?
So I don't do it.
And then it makes it hard for the real person that now you guys have decided, okay, we are official, we are going all the way. Yo, look, Malachi and them, they still stuck on.
Not Malachi.
He got that 666, because now they starting to act like they got that 666 on the back of their head, because they're still hurting. They're still going through that process. But now you introducing them to yo boo. Well, he yo boo, but they still stuck on Uncle Chuck over here.
And that's where you get the issues where the kids are like, you're not gonna last long. I'm not gonna bother learning your name because you're not even gonna be here next week. So it's just like, you just avoid the whole situation. Just avoid all the drama. Keep your people to yourselves until they matter, and then y'all go forward.
So now let's say you get past all this gray area and everything, and you find the one that you're gonna take the long haul with, and you introduce them to your kids, and your kids don't like them. What do you do?
That's a wrap.
For who?
For them. For that person.
Really?
Yes.
You'll sacrifice your happiness?
I look at it this way. I sacrificed my children, what I felt like was my children's happiness when I decided to get a divorce. A lot of times kids don't truly understand how things will affect them down the road. So sometimes you just have to make that grown-up decision. You got to put your big girl panties on and make that decision for them.
Well, I will hope. Well, I did. Now I kind of got scared going through the process with my son, because I was horrible. I was a horrible person to introduce, when my mom started dating and everything. My siblings and I, we were those people with the 666 on the back of our heads, because we could not get past some other things that had taken place. So any person that came, automatically it was war. And when I tell you the stuff that we did, I mean, no one should have to endure what we, kind of put out there. And so I myself always had that in the back of my head, karma, like you reap what you sow. And the one I gave birth to, he's like a male version of me. And I don't think I could be as strong as my mother was to deal with me through my son putting out there.
It's so funny, because I know myself, I'm very difficult. I know this about me. But my mom and my dad separated. I was like maybe 11. In all the years, I met one guy that my mom dated. And my mom was fly, so I know she was dating somebody. But I only ever met one guy. And even with my father, I love him, but I know him. But even with my father, I've only been introduced to one female in all of these years. So that was the example that was set for me. Like, my parents didn't work. I told them, if y'all ever get back together, I'm leaving y'all. So I mean, I understand what it's like, what it means to be happier separated. And I understand what it is to set that that good example for your children. My dad, I know what he did, but I found out when I got older, my dad was all the way out there. That to me.
Right.
So I did not grow up thinking it's okay to be that chick. And my mother never showed me that. So I knew that wasn't ladylike. So that's not what we gonna do.
And see, and that's very important to have that good example, because my mother was the same way. You know, it was just the one person, but still it was a bunch of us, and we kind of formulated things we just decided no one was going to be there. So between ourselves, we just came together and we like, okay, ain't nobody gonna have this spot here. And you know, it was, looking back, being grown out, it was definitely unfair, because when we got older, we definitely realized that, you know, the person that she chose, he was definitely a stand-up guy. And it was just, you know, she had a bunch of children of the corn, undercover kids. You know, we were good in front of her. You could do no wrong in her eyes around her. But when she turned her back, you know, hey,
that's
all
it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be an angel in front of your parents. And when that person is there, you're supposed to be like, look, well, I'm gonna tell my mama you talk to me crazy. Like, right, but then, as a kid, that's your job.
Right, but then when you become a parent, you give birth to yourself.
I don't care.
I was scared, because I knew, I'm just like, oh God, the things that we did, you know, funny now, but going through it. Like,
I tell you all the time, my children are me. My son is, and one of our guests can attest to this, my son is sarcastic. He is all the way this, okay? Like, he is all the way this. So he will tell you in a heartbeat, that's not smart. So I can't even be mad, because he does it. You know what I mean? You just have to get used to it. Like, that's how he is. He's smart. If you come at him like, oh, you gonna do this because I said so, he'll be like, you don't know my mama. Wait a minute. Like, so kids learn from their parents. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. And
yes, they do. Well, I want to thank you all for tuning in on Facebook. Hey, Tyson Smith. Hey, Eric Jennings. Cortez Harris, hey, why are you, Cortez is asking, why is he not on the show? Cortez, we're going to talk. Thank you so much, Juliet, for joining us. I want to thank you all for joining us. We're going to take a short music break. And when we come back, you all, we're getting right into this topic. Single versus being lonely. What's the truth? Are you single or are you lonely? Let's break this down. You're listening to the Jaye Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time, on IntellectualRadio.com and iHeartStation.
Who you are, yeah. Who you are. It's just about being who you are. It's just about being who you are. You're hiding, you're locked away. Fearing what others might say. Don't you let that judgment put you in no cage. They say, will you recognize yourself when you be by yourself? Or are you just pretending? Will you recognize yourself when you be by yourself? Stop trying to emulate, impersonate before it's too late. Just be who you are, yourself. Just about being who you are. It's just about being who you are. You're beautiful. You're special. Your happiness begins when the masquerade ends. If you stand in your truth, then you can fly. There's no to how high. You just got who you are, who you are, who you are. It's just about being who you are, who you are. It's just about being who you are.
Welcome back to the Jaye Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time on IntellectualRadio.com and iHeartStation. I'm your host, Jay, and sitting next to me, we have pretty, sassy, sexy, Precious Bonner. Hey, Precious.
Y'all. Hey, Jay.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Now, sitting next to sassy, pretty, Precious Bonner, I have to go ahead. This is Sister Sexy right here, but this is JP Lewis. How you doing tonight, JP?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I mean, she sashayed through this door. You all, if I had my phone, I would have recorded her as she slid through this door. I say, wait a minute, it's just me in here, but okay, you can go back out and walk in again like that. How are you tonight?
I'm good.
Good. JP is an educator, and JP is going to share a few tips on parents, what we can be doing for the kids while they are out on spring. Why am I saying spring? I was trying to get your kids back to you.
No, ma'am.
For summer, JP, share a few tips on what parents and students can be doing during this summer break.
Besides allowing the kids to have a reset, keeping them engaged, having camp, if they're going to camp, sports camps, I think it's important that we're making sure they're reading every day, reading something, if it's things they enjoy, but trying to get them to read things on their Lexile level. If you're unsure about that, you can go to Lexile.com. They'll help you to determine what your child's Lexile level is. I think it's also important that they're doing some sort of math. You can do that making recipes, finding math at their grade level online. Any of the websites, you can just really pretty much Google things on your kid's grade level and find all kinds of activities that you can do for your kids at home. But I don't think you should just let them stay idle-minded throughout the summer without doing anything academic. If it's 30 minutes a day, I don't think it's an overkill, but 30 minutes a day is more than enough.
Absolutely. So that means sitting around playing those game systems all day, every day until school starts back in August or September, that's a no-go. Make sure you have them read, because that's actually what my mother did for us. We used to have to read and do something, like you said, some type of math. We'll have some of those tips posted on the Jaye Spot page, also on Twitter, and also on Instagram. And please like those pages. And Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. Now, next to Sister Sexy, we have handsome, strong, intelligent Bobzilla Reed. How you doing tonight,
I'm doing
Bobzilla?
good. Well, thank you. That's so sweet of you.
No, I really mean it. I mean, we really need more stand-up men in the community, because, you know, I can think of a few other words to describe some of these guys, and it won't be stand-up. So anytime I come into contact with a stand-up man, I'm going to give him his credit. How you doing today?
I'm doing real good. I'm always doing good. I appreciate that, Jamila.
Thank you so much. Tell everybody a little about yourself, what it is that you have going on, and how they can get in contact with you.
Well, this is my third time being here. Thanks to you. We love you. And, you know, I love the Jaye Spot. I'm Bobzilla, if you guys don't know. I'm an actor. I'm also a musician extraordinaire as well. I'm a part of several projects right now I got going. I'm a part of the Shy Ill series. That's one of the major TV shows that we're trying to get picked up right now. So be on the lookout for that. I'm definitely going to have stuff posted on my Bobzilla Reed Facebook page, as well as at Bobzilla on Instagram and Twitter. I also got I'm a part of the Decisions web series right now, and I have 2 independent movies that I'm working on. I'm just staying busy right now. I'm back in the studio. I'm working on my album Virgo Life, that's coming out in a couple months. So I'm just staying active right now with all the arts, you know. So
now, how can people get in contact with you?
Like I said, Bobzilla Reed, Facebook, Bobzilla Reed, the at Bobzilla 80 on Twitter and Instagram. Same one, at Bobzilla 80.
I'm gonna need you to tell them who your barber is, because all of this is on the thousand right now.
Shout out to Lonnie's Barbershop, Harvey, Illinois. My barber named Lloyd. Tell him Bobzilla sent you.
Hey, Lloyd.
Yeah, but that's what's up.
Party at the shop.
Okay, absolutely. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. Now, I know there's been a lot going on with, and I'm not sure of the details. What's going on? Like Rob Kardashian, what the heck is going on? Like it's a lot that's going on. So I don't know. I need to get it together.
Look at his face. So basically, Rob played himself. He got done like his sister do people. It's that simple. Well, all his sisters and his mother and potentially his mother. So I mean, you can't bring just anything home and try to wife it. Everybody is not designed to. Everybody don't need to know where you live at. And you decided to wife it. You paid for it, and you got what you got. Keep it pushing.
He got married.
Did he marry that girl?
Yeah. And he has a baby. He has a baby by her.
I know about the baby, but I didn't know if he got married or not.
They're no longer together though.
But why would you? Here's the thing. Why would you wife her? Period.
Well, I mean, this happens all the time, to be honest with you.
It does. Well, so when you get played, don't go crying to the
right.
Facebook.
Well, I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, he's wrong for that, but at the end of the day, I don't feel sorry for neither one of them. I mean, it is what it is. This happens all the time. I mean, and he's not the first to get with,
They just have to have money.
Right. It's just in front of everybody, but people get with hoes every day, B.
Okay, well, you know what? I just definitely needed a little clarification on what was going on because I hear everybody talking about it, and I'm like, okay, Dick, am I up on the rock? Because I have no idea what was going on. But thank you guys for the update. You all, what we're gonna do? We're gonna take a short music break, and when we come back, we're getting into it. Single versus lonely. I'm single by choice. You lonely. Get out of here with all that. Get out of here with all that. So we're going to dispel a couple of these myths that's going on. So you are listening to the Jaye Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time on IntellectualRadio.com and iHeartStation.
I got you. No poverty and pain. Baby, you know. I got you. Ain't no shame. From the blocks of Broadway to Wall Street and Pissy hallways, I got you. I got you. And I'll be I never could. You understand my dream. Like you are. Yes, you are. Get too far. Said I lay my life down on the line. And baby, I dropped down to my knees for you. Love's got hold of me, slave don't set me free. I'm a runaway running down Love Street. Your love's got hold of me, slave don't set me free. I'm a runaway running down Love Street. From the block to Broadway.
Welcome back to the Jaye Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time on IntellectualRadio.com and iHeartStation. I'm your host, Jay, and sitting next to me, we have Pretty Precious Bonner. Hey, Precious.
Hey, Jay. Hey, everybody.
Next to Pretty Precious Bonner, we have Sister Sexy over here, JP. Hey, JP.
Hello.
And next to JP, we have handsome, strong, a good man, a good black man, Bob Zilla.
What's up, world?
Thank you all for joining us. Please, again, go to our Facebook page and like our page at the Jaye Spot. Also follow us on Twitter at Jaye Spot, and also follow us on Instagram at the Jaye Spot Radio. And Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. Let's get right into it. What does being single mean? What does it mean to you, Precious?
For me, being single just means you are not in a relationship. You are not seeing someone seriously.
Okay. JP, what about you? What does being single mean?
Not married? No. I am not married. Pretty much the same as what Precious is saying, is that you're not in a relationship and you have not agreed with that person, that you are seeing other people. So that you're single.
I guess I could say I could agree with that. I mean, because to be honest with you, technically it do mean you're not married, but that's kind of like taking away the responsibilities that you may have if you are in a relationship. So I can agree with their definition.
For the sake of argument, though,
just because
that's like under duress, like
when you file your taxes, they do not have a box that says I'm in a relationship.
Exactly.
Divorce, widow.
Exactly.
However, you can still be married and file head of household. So
head of household, but it doesn't have an option for you being single. I mean, single and be in a relationship.
Head of household means that you are single with dependents, so that other person don't count.
And see, and that's why you have to ask. And that's why I asked that, because.
But me having a boyfriend and me being single and head of household is two different things.
Right, but you have to ask for clarification, because again, everybody has a different definition on what it is to be single. So I did a little research. According to an online source, single means unmarried or not involved in a stable sexual relationship. Now I'm kind of teetering on the edge of that last one, a stable sexual relationship. If you're single, are you really looking for that sexual relationship to be stable, or are you looking for the ability to be able to go from this person to this person, or whatever it is that you choose to do? Are you looking for it to be stable?
So it has to be a stable sexual relationship. What if the relationship isn't stable? So are we considered single if our relationship isn't stable?
Exactly.
But if you're in a relationship and it's not stable, why are you in a relationship? You single anyway.
Why are you having sex? Okay, so
I love the expression.
So are you considered single if you're not having sex? Wait, so if you're in a relationship with someone and you're celibate, you're considered single.
And that's why I had a problem with that last part. Now, Nicole Watson says single means I'm free from the BS people bring. I like that. Okay, Aaron Lay, he's saying I'm good being single because I can have company when I want to, or not when I. Okay,
what does the company entail though?
Who is considered company?
Netflix and chilling,
or a cuddle buddy. I know we'll talk about that. Now, what does being lonely mean? We'll start with you, Bob Zella. What does being lonely mean?
Being lonely is exactly what the word is saying. I think, be honest with you, I think lonely is more of a mind state, in my opinion. You could be the same definition that we just made about being single, but to that person, because of their thought process and how they view it, they're actually lonely. So I believe that loneliness is a mind state, and it's you succumbing to that singledom to the point to where you feel alone. And to be honest with you, you could be lonely within a relationship.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, what do you think, JP? What does being lonely to you mean?
I don't necessarily understand that feeling, alone and not be necessarily lonely. I enjoy being alone. I enjoy my own company. I think I'm a wonderful person to be around. I do like dope. I'm pretty dope. So I enjoy being around myself. I enjoy doing things alone. I'm an introvert naturally. And so for me, sometimes I enjoy spending joy time. And that's okay with me. So necessarily loneliness, I don't understand that concept.
I think that the difference between, go ahead.
Well, because sometimes we want companionship. And I think that we often confuse companionship and not necessarily having companionship with being lonely. And sometimes we can find that companionship in different ways. And you don't always need companionship. You don't always need a relationship and necessarily to have companionship.
Exactly. That's pretty much what I was going to say. I think that being lonely is exactly what both of you guys said combined. It's definitely a state of mind. It's, for me, if you're lonely, you need someone else, right? You physically need, or you physically, emotionally, whatever, need somebody else there. I feel like a person who is lonely, they are not 100% within themselves. I feel like, because for me, I love me. I love me more than just about anybody on this planet. So, but I do have times where I'm like, I need somebody to snuggle. You know what I mean? So, but for me, that's companionship versus loneliness, because I know when I wake up, I'm gonna need you to be gone and you're not gonna get none. You know what I mean? So it's a difference. It's not, when you're lonely, I feel like you actually need that person's, whatever it is, you need support from another individual to make you feel complete. That's lonely.
But I think people who aren't complete as individuals, those people are always in that constant state of loneliness, regardless if they're in a relationship or not. Because I don't love me, I'm not comfortable with who I am, I'm not enjoying me as a person, I'm always lonely.
Right.
Now, according to an online source, lonely means affected with, characterized by, or causing a depressing feeling of being alone or lonesome. So goes back to what you were saying, Bobzilla. Loneliness is definitely a state of mind.
Yes.
So I don't understand how people would compare the two. When you see a person that's single, you would automatically say, oh, they're lonely because they're single. I just don't get it. So lonely, producer before the show, he said that for women, he said women are not, he said the reason that women are not lonely, he said because they get dogs. He said they're not single because you get a dog and you have a vibrator. So therefore you're never single and you're not lonely. What do you guys
really,
he said because you don't need a man, you'll never be single because you have that.
I need a man. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So the dog,
and I love my dog, but
so
I still
the
need
dog, because he said that the dog is replacing the companionship for the man.
Somebody lied. I think if that's the case, then as an adult, especially as a single parent with children, you should never be alone or never need anybody else or want anybody else, because you got a whole nother life, a human life running around your house. So that doesn't really make sense. I mean, you can have all the vibrators in the world and all the everything else in the world, but at the end of the day,
what is your relationship status, Precious?
I'm saying don't do that.
No, she don't want anybody else's feelings. No, it's okay.
I am single. I don't care. I'm single. So it just is what it is.
JP, what is your relationship status? Oh no, oh no, baby girl, you sat down in a hot spot. So what's
I plead the fifth. Really?
Mm-hmm. No, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
I plead the fifth because I don't want
there's no fifth. We'll let Sister Sexy over here get her answer together and figure out who's gonna be blowing her phone up. Bobzilla, what is your relationship status?
I'm in a happy relationship right now.
See, there you go.
I have no problem saying that.
There you go.
And it's on Facebook.
So it's on Facebook. Then it is definitely official. It's on Facebook. It's official.
In a relationship with.
So why are you, since Sister Sexy over here is avoiding the question, we've already drawn our conclusion.
Right.
We've drawn.
What's your conclusion?
Because you haven't claimed them, so if you had a relationship.
No. Okay, so it's not because I haven't claimed him.
You walked into this one.
Did I really? Okay, so I'm dating.
Okay, there's nothing wrong.
What's your definition of dating?
Oh Lord.
Is this just going out on dates?
Hey, Alvin, how are you?
Alvin's here.
I want to see a table.
How are you? We have sexy,
don't interrupt this woman.
smelling good Alvin.
Right, I want to hear this.
Right, yeah, Alvin, good to see you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So
please forgive me. I apologize. I don't want to interrupt. You were about to get in.
Sexy.
I appreciate you.
To the young man who's dating this beautiful young woman, can you please call in the 708-238-8953?
Awesome. Go ahead and instigate.
She is not acknowledging the relationship that you two have established.
So wait, Alvin, so what is your relationship status?
Unwanted, unloved, unliked.
Now that cannot be true.
Alvin shares his booty rubs around too much.
That professionally.
That could be a problem.
Recreationally.
No, hold on.
So let me ask this, Precious. So now you say you're single. Why are you single?
Because I have a short attention span and I'm difficult.
Okay.
I left my application in the car, but on the way in, I heard somebody say they was looking for a cuddle
buddy.
Yeah.
I need a snuggle buddy. There's a difference.
A snuggle buddy. Wait, what is a snuggle buddy?
What's the difference between a snuggle buddy?
I can lay on your chest and drool.
Oh.
They say in the professional world that sometimes you got to start out on a low level position and work your way up. I'm not opposed to work.
So let me ask this, Precious. So do you want to be in a relationship? Okay. What about you, Alvin?
I'm a sometime lover. It is not a problem.
I sound like we got a love connection here.
So let me ask this. So now when people say the traditional, I'm single by choice, is that a true statement or is that just an excuse? I'm single. Why are you single? I'm single by choice.
I think overall it's an excuse, to be totally honest with you. I've actually did several, I had several statuses about this subject, about single by choice. And I think it's something that we go to for a defense mechanism. Most of the people who say that are the same people who talk about, they make those posts about how single they are and how they wish how they can't find someone, and then in the same breath they're saying it's also by choice. But if they really dig deeper, it's not necessarily really by choice because they want to have somebody. It's just the options that's available to them are just not what they want. So that's the choice part of it, because they're not choosing. I mean, because to be totally honest with you, let's be honest. If you guys walked out right now and want to get anybody, you can get someone to be with you. I mean, you're beautiful women. You can get someone to be with you. So it's not about just not being able to pick up somebody or have a boyfriend. The ones that you want, though, or your options that you're dealing with, they're not acting the way that you want them to be. So those are the ones that you're picking. So as of right now, you'd rather be single than choose the options that you have in front of you.
So now for me, when people ask me why am I single, I have to be honest because I'm not ready to act right. There are a lot of good dudes out here.
I love that answer.
I don't want to I'm not even going to front and say because I'm single by choice. And it always, just like your mouth just dropped when I said that, guys are always floored when I say because I know I be on some dumb stuff. So why mess up a perfectly good dude? Because I've come into some contact with some very good dudes, but I'm not ready to talk to you all the time. I'm not ready to be up under only you or around only you all the time. So there's some, look, I'm still working on some selfish things. So, and I'm not ready to give that up. So that would really, they not.
Yes, they are.
Yes, I was gonna say.
Where are they? Right, the good dudes are not though.
See, first of all, the cool thing about that is the fact that as a woman, you can get away with saying that.
Right.
Exactly.
If a guy say that,
you already know.
There's a window busted.
We hoeing, we doing everything.
Some tire flattening.
Exactly.
Oh, a guy. It reminds me to a long time ago when I was out here in the streets.
I'm saying
I was in the club and I saw an attractive young lady in the club. And I said, I'm gonna ask this lady how to dance. And she looked at me and said, "I'm sorry, baby, I'm comfortable." And I thought it was the flyest thing I ever heard in life. So I was like, I have to use that one day. So I waited and waited for my opportunity to tell the young lady that I'm comfortable. Do you know I got cursed out from Monday to Sunday?
You should have. You should have.
Right. But I thought that was the flyest thing. Anyway, I'm comfortable. How do you you can't combat that? I'm comfortable. Anything I say will take you out of your comfort.
You don't hear what you just said too often. That's that level of transparency, to be totally honest with you. Out here, that's not what you hear.
Because everybody,
man or woman,
right? Because it's like everybody is trying to get over something. And to be honest, and it's still as real as that is, it still does not work because you get the follow-up questions. Well, you never know until you get. And okay, wait a minute. clearly I know where I am, and I know that I see the potential in you, and I don't want to mess that up for somebody else because I know I'm gonna straight be on some dumb stuff. I never got
this conversation from you.
You never asked. I'll be on some dumb stuff.
You know what? It's so funny because a lot of times when guys talk to me, I'm either interested or I'm not. And if I'm not, I'm all the way not. There is no coming back from that. I do not care. There is no building block.
But the thing you got to understand is most guys are reared through hunter mentality as they grow up. You're supposed to.
My gun is bigger than yours.
And that's perfectly fine. But you also have to understand, until you kill me, I will not quit.
Wait, Nicole on Facebook says, Jay, let me find out you still playing the field too. It's not that I'm playing the field. I'm just not ready, for all of the real stuff that it takes to be in a relationship, because there's some other things that I want to focus on, and it involves, making some selfish type decisions. And I just don't feel like it's fair to bring somebody, especially when you see a dude that you like, oh man, he can fall real quick.
You see the potential.
Why go do that? There's plenty of guys out here that's on some dumb stuff just like you are. So if y'all want to be on some dumb stuff together, choose somebody that's going to be on some dumb stuff, but don't mess up a perfectly good dude.
You know what? I truly, truly wish guys would do that. Like, I kid you not. I will respect that so much more. You come, you know what? You look good, whatever. I'm on this level. I just want to, let me see what that whatever do. But like, you give me a choice and I get to tell you, okay, you know what? See, you stupid. No, thank you. And move on with my day. But don't talk to me. Don't allow me to entertain you and be interested in you, because that is not going to end pretty, because I'm going to tell you how I really feel and you are not going to like it.
And see, don't mess up a good woman. Don't mess up a good dude. Don't mess up a good woman.
Everybody in the world know my dreams need details. So when I play this back in my mind, I need to fully
from the waist down. You love from the waist down.
That's a whole. We should really do a show on that, because it's some stuff going on out in this world and people just don't understand. If your love is rooted from the waist down, you can only go up from there. I really don't get why people don't understand that.
So now we've touched upon single, but now what causes people to be lonely? What causes people to feel lonely, especially when they're in a relationship? What would cause someone to be lonely?
A lack of emotional support. Drops mic.
Okay.
I mean, it's a character flaw, in my opinion. It's no different, than any other character flaw. It's not something that caused it. It's their mind state of what would get that person there. So what's happening in their life that makes them believe that they are in a lonely state like that? I mean, it's really predicated upon the individual, if you ask me.
You're looking for something from someone else to fill voids within you. And that doesn't happen. You can't find things from other people to fill voids within
Exactly.
you.
That person will always be lonely, or have
no matter what.
Or have those feelings of loneliness no matter what situation they're in.
I hear that and I get that, but at the same time, I feel like when you are married or when you are in a relationship, everyone has their insecurities. Everyone has their days. Everyone has a day or moment when you want Bae to look at you and say, "Bae, that butt look good in them jeans." You know what I mean? It's not so much that there's a hole or a void or anything like that. It's a matter of feeling appreciated.
What about the people who get that though and still feel lonely?
They need Jesus.
Just as simple as
it is. But you don't have Jesus, then what?
Eat a cookie. I don't know.
I mean,
and we realize
because we do have that. We do have people who no matter what's happening, they're going to feel what they feel no matter what. I mean, I know we do have people that take medication for situations like that as well.
Jay always recommends counseling and drugs are a very good thing. You should go and help yourself.
But that's what the road I'm going down. Loneliness is that much of a character flaw, in my opinion.
Now, some people feel lonely because they desire to be in a relationship, but for whatever reason or reasons, it just hasn't happened yet. But now sometimes being lonely has absolutely nothing to do with your relationship status. It could be something deeper. Mm-hmm. So as Precious said, I like to say this a lot. You may want to talk to somebody about that, because for real, like when a person is feeling lonely, that's like the worst time to meet somebody, because you can mess around and attach to something or somebody that you have absolutely no business being connected to whatsoever. And it could be the worst decision of your life. I mean, sometimes take a step back. Everybody that come to you and try to approach you, especially in that season, if you go on, because I believe that people, we all go through seasons of loneliness. I just believe it's just a natural part of life. You don't stay there, but if you find that you're knocking on loneliness door more often than you are just being single, you may want to talk to somebody.
You know, I learned a long time ago, my family, as crazy as they are, was very, very big on validation. Okay. Meaning I grew up in Mississippi. Most of my family on my mom's side lived up here. I would get a phone call at 12:01. Happy birthday. I know you got all A's on your report card. Your mom told me, and yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, dude, I don't even like you that much. Why is you calling me at 12 o'clock? You know, oh, your mom sent me pictures. You had a ball and I saw your pictures. You got all A's and you got 1 B. It's okay. That B is great. You're going to do better. You know, my family was really big on validation on the smallest little things. And I think especially as children, if we instill that validation and that sense of self-worth in these children, especially these females and these men, Rob Kardashian.
What happened?
I that's what I was telling them.
I don't understand what's going on. All I know is actually just Rob Kardashian. I don't know.
She played him to the left. Somebody done played him to the left.
Everybody in the world knew that was
that's what I got.
She basically just showed some pictures of stuff that she was doing, and then he put her on blast, and they're just going back and forth on social media with all their business out there.
So it's a waste of time.
So basically, he acted like a little female when he got played. That's all.
Well, she also showed herself to be.
I disagree with that.
Girl, apparently.
His mama gonna show
now
him
listen,
how to
if you're in a relationship and you feel lonely, try talking to your partner or your spouse. Try talking to them first, because a lot of times people have no idea on what it is that you personally are going through. You may be giving them little hints and little signs, but you know, people are not mind readers. So if it's something that you have going on, talk to that person that you're with. And if that doesn't work, then I invite you all to please go sit on somebody's couch and talk, because I'm telling you, you would be surprised how much insight you get on your relationship as well as yourself when you just hear yourself verbally say things. You get a chance to like look a little bit deeper into yourself. So definitely go talk to somebody. But I want to give some tips on how to be single and not feel lonely.
Drink.
Precious said drink. Well, I'm gonna have a sip of coffee, but
call Bodyology Massage or the massage services. We'll come out, and I promise you, you will not feel lonely.
How can they get that booty rub?
I'm gonna test that out. I'm testing the services out. I will give online reviews.
Do you give happy endings? Is that how they're gonna not feel lonely?
I'm not asking for happy.
I'm not asking for happy endings. I can say
FYI, just in case. My non-existing relationship.
Your thing is watching.
I don't want to happy.
At Bodyology Mobile Massage, every massage ends happily.
Okay.
I'm asking for.
So tell people how they can get their booties rubbed, Alvin.
Say that again.
Tell people how they can get their booties rubbed and have a happy ending.
I don't
or go to bodyologymassage.com. Find me on Facebook at Bodyology Mobile Massage, or you can just hit me, Alvin Lay, on Facebook.
I'm gonna interject. You notice he didn't object to the happy ending.
Again, the best way I can explain it, every massage ends happily.
I'm not asking for happy endings. I just,
she just wants massage.
General massage.
It'll be an enjoyable massage.
Thank you.
Okay, well, the first tip, understand that there's a difference between being single and lonely. The next thing is, if you're not happy single, work on that, because being in a relationship won't help you whatsoever. A lot of people think that, oh, well, I'm going to be so happy and life is just going to be so great once you get in a relationship, but you have the number one relationship. And if you can't get that right with yourself, how in the world are you going to get a relationship right with somebody else? If you can't get the one person that's supposed to be riding with you from here to there, yourself, if you can't get that right,
if you can't
if
love
you're not compatible with you, who you
right?
How you gonna be compatible with somebody else if you can't be compatible with you? If you can't live by yourself, you may want to talk to somebody, and it's okay. Recognize also where you are and what type of person you are. If you are selfish, if you got whatever your character flaws are, whatever it is, be honest with yourself. Recognize that, because people are dealing with some things. Like if you know you're a handful, Jay, just be honest. I know.
Look, you heard me say I'm difficult.
So I know it's gonna take a
There's
special
some
kind
guys
of dude.
out here with some big hands.
What the hands got to do? I
called 911. You said you're a handful.
Oh, okay. I'm like, wait a minute, I called loud. Okay. The next one is know that being single is not a disease. It does not matter how old you are. A lot of people, especially for women, the older we get, we start to thinking, and people in society just put that label and put that on you. Oh, well, when are you going to settle down? And when are you, can you worry about why you and your husband sleeping in separate bedrooms and not worry about why I'm single? I'm happy. Now you said I do, and y'all can't even get so in our own household.
Who asks these questions?
Who?
Where these types of guys?
It's not even guys. It could be family members, just people in general. You get to us, women get. We get. Have you? Do people actually
have a kid?
No, my favorite one is why are you single?
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
And again, I come cut from a different cloth. I'm a different breed of character when it comes to this environment. So a lot of this stuff is always new to me, because I can't believe that people go into this way. Like,
oh yes, people definitely ask you things like that and have no shame about it.
In my day when I was aggressively looking, I was not concerned whether or not you had a man.
Right.
I was.
So you're no longer aggressively looking?
No, I'm sitting in my corner. I'm staying out the way. I'm staying out the way.
I'm asking for a friend.
You know, and gentlemen out here who are really looking and want to learn. And I actually met a young guy. He was about 27 years old, and he was perplexed about dating. And I sat down. I told him, like, look, this is what you do. You go into this world. You talk to everybody. Expect the no. Get comfortable with hearing no. And once you got that, then you move forward, and then you can move into aggression, and you can start grabbing these ladies. Say,
but these men are shying away from that, though, Alvin. It's like the stuff that these guys say on Facebook. It's like they want the women to pursue them. They want the woman to buy them a drink. They want the woman to do this.
Let me time out real quick.
I
blame women. Don't touch me, okay? I had this problem. Do not touch me.
Are you saying I can't touch you?
Well, that's different because you.
Okay.
We're gonna have to do a show on that. Should women pursue men? Are there men out there that want?
What women need to do is they need to start shutting these guys down for being sensitive and feminine and whatever. Again,
y'all heard this man say that. So when we start clamping y'all down, we gonna say Alvin told y'all.
Tell them come see me. I'll hold the class.
Stop being lonely, and you won't give in to these dudes.
Now, but finally, for being single, own it. Be happy. Be content with being single.
Nothing wrong with being
single. Single is single. Lonely is lonely. If you're feeling lonely, I suggest you talk to somebody professionally, because again, that may be something that you're dealing with on a personal level that you may just need to talk to somebody about. So again, single is single. Own it. Be happy with where you are, who you are, what you are. Be happy with it. If you're looking for somebody, be okay in that process. Own the fact, acknowledge the fact that, yeah, I want to be in a relationship, but it hasn't happened yet. It will happen. And then if you on some just straight up garbage like me, just say, okay, I'm on some garbage and I'm going to let all you good people pass on by. But be happy with whatever state you are in. Be content with who you are. I want to thank you all so much. Thank you, Alvin. Thank you, Bobzilla. Thank you, JP. Thank you, Precious. Thank you all for joining us. You've been listening to the Jaye Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time, on IntellectualRadio.com and iHeartStation. Good night. Peace out.
Deuces.
Peace out.
Deuce.
Good night.
Thank you for hitting the Jaye Spot on IntellectualRadio.com.